Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good night. Welcome to another edition of our Dailyish Devotionals. I am Pastor Brian, and welcome to take 350. This has been quite a morning trying to get this to work. I guess that's what happens when you take a couple days off. I've been living up to the dailyish part of this devotional, and I've got to get back in the swing of things here. Just school is coming to an end here for the summer semester, so there's always a little bit of stuff to rush to get done at the end and get ready for finals. I've been working a little bit more at the funeral home, helping with some embalmings and such, and then also with church being live, a little bit more involved and getting prepared for that. So I think that's probably enough excuses to make you feel sorry for me and accept this doesn't happen every day. If not, email me. I'm happy to provide all kinds of excuses. Don't know if any of them are valid, but I like to give them. Anyway, we will continue with our book, God Came Near, Chronicles of the Christ by Max Lucado. An older one of his books, but still full of wisdom and some interesting insights that he always is able to provide into our faith life with Jesus. So let us jump into that. Oh, arachnophobia. That brings back memories of junior high. I believe the movie came out in 1990, which would make me about 13. So right smack dab in the middle of junior high. And there are some stories that go with this movie that I can't share here because I need to protect the innocent. But it's a good show. Jeff Daniels is protecting his house from an invasion of a South American spider that has escaped after being brought to America for study and wreaked havoc on the ecosystem. And there's a wonderful scene with a nail gun that is horribly unpractical, but still. And then John Goodman, my favorite character as the exterminator from Bugs Be Gone, is the comedy in the thriller. And I saw someone describe it in a photo as a thrillamedy. I thought that was pretty good. I'd have to watch this one with the boys. If you're scared of spiders or really do have arachnophobia, might not be the movie for you. But the tagline, which you can't see, is behind me. It says 8 legs, 2 fangs, and an attitude. And then we've got the birds of prey. That there is good stuff. So Max, in his chapter for today, titles it Just a Moment. It says, it all happened in a moment, a most remarkable moment, in that when Jesus decided to become human. When he, as Max says, that God became a fetus. Even saying that sentence, that is amazing to think about. Right? The Word, the one who was with God in creating the earth, decided to become one of us. Max says, the omnipotent in one instant made himself breakable. He who had been spirit became pierceable. He who was larger than the universe became an embryo. Holiness sleeping in a womb. But that's kind of a neat description. God was given eyebrows, elbows, 2 kidneys, and a spleen. God had come near. Well, of course, he says that first moment passed with hardly anybody noticing. If it wasn't for some shepherds, there wouldn't have been any witnesses really to the birth. If there wouldn't have been for the 3 wise men, there would have been no gifts. Just a teenage woman and her husband having a baby in a manger and continuing with their lives. Nothing remarkable about it. A moment that changed everything, but the moment that kind of passed by without anyone noticing. Max says Jesus may have had pimples. He may have been tone deaf. It could be that his knees were bowing. But one thing's for sure, he was, well, completely divine, completely human. For 33 years, he would feel everything you and I would ever feel. He felt weak. He grew weary. He was afraid of failure. He was susceptible to getting colds, or he burped. He had body odor. His feelings got hurt. His feet got tired. His head ached. What does it mean to be fully human? That's a debate. We believe Jesus was fully human and fully God, and that's a mystery that I can't explain. But could he be fully human and be sinless and perfect? I suppose, yes. But then there's the argument, if you are fully human, part of the human condition is we are imperfect. So if you never make a mistake, are you truly fully human? I don't know. A good thought exercise, maybe. important to discuss? Maybe, maybe not. But I always wonder, did Jesus talk back to his parents? Was he a bit of a smart aleck? Did he ever use his powers for his advantage? Probably not that second one, but man, a teenager never talked back to your parents. We get that glimpse of the story of when they left him in Jerusalem at the temple, and they came back looking for him, and they asked him where he was, and he said, "I'm in my father's house." Kind of the, where'd you expect me to be? A little bit of a smart aleck answer there. Maybe I wish Jesus was more of a smart aleck and sarcastic, because I too often fault that side of humor. That's possible. But I love the description that Max gives about how he got tired, his head ached, he grew weary. He says, to think of Jesus in such a light, it seems irreverent. It's uncomfortable. How do you feel when you talk about Jesus having all of the human emotions and experiences? Going to the bathroom, getting stinky, dealing with puberty? I just thought something funny. What about overbearing parents? What if God is your father? That is the ultimate overbearing parent, right? Rabbit hole we don't need to go down. But Max goes on to speculate that maybe it's easier to stomach when we think of Jesus as being divine and God. There is something about keeping him divine that keeps him distant, packaged, predictable. He says, but don't do it. He says, let him be as human as he intended to be. For let him into the mire and the muck of our world, for only if we let him in can he pull us out. Listen to him. Love your neighbor was spoken by a man whose neighbors tried to kill him. The challenge to leave family for the gospel is issued by one who kissed his mother goodbye in the doorway. Pray for those who persecute you came from the lips that would soon be begging God to forgive his murderers. I am with you always are the words of a God who in one instant did the impossible to make it all possible for you and me. So it's that first moment when God became human passed with almost hardly anybody noticing. Max says, and I believe that when the second moment happens, when Jesus comes the second time, we won't be able to miss that one. You see in the beginning, in becoming man, God made it possible for man to see God. When Jesus went home, he left the back door open. The first moment of transformation went unnoticed by the world, but you can bet your sweet September that the second one won't. The next time Jesus comes back, we will notice it. The world will be transformed in the twinkling of an eye. But I love that statement. When Jesus went home, he left the back door open for us. Leave the back door open for friends and for family and for those who you just want to walk right in. You don't care who they are or when they visit, they come in your back door, they are welcome to stay. And Jesus left the back door to heaven and eternity open for us. Because that relationship he has, our friend, our family, our everything. He wants us and hopes we come in that back door and stay. And of course, when we do, we won't stay for a moment, we'll stay for eternity. So continue those daily moments with Jesus, building that relationship, asking God to help you, being transformed. And then when the time is ready, that back door is open and we can walk right in and we'll be welcomed with opened arms. Give Jesus a high five or maybe an elbow if it's more appropriate at the time. But what a vision, what a thought for hope in a world that needs much of it today. Amen.